When p of x is divided by x minus 1 and x plus 2, remainders are 2 and 5 respectively. Find the remainder when p of x is divided by x minus 1 times x plus 2. Alright, so p of x is divided by x minus 1 and the remainder is 2. P of x is divided by x minus 1. Let's say our quotient is a of x, and let's say the remainder is 2. And the p of x also divided by x plus 2. In this case, let's say the quotient p of x, and as given, the remainder is 5. So according to these given information, we can write p of x as p of x is equal to x minus 1 times a of x plus 2. P of x is equal to x minus 1 times a of x plus 2. And p of x is equal to x plus 2 times the p of x plus 5. So p of x is equal to x plus 2 times p of x plus 5. Actually, there is another way of showing this division, and let me write that down. P of x is divided by x minus 1, quotient is a of x, and the remainder is 2. And p of x is divided by x plus 2, quotient is b of x, and the remainder is 5. So these two are different ways of showing this division. Alright, so let's just move these two information up here. So if we replace x with 1, this part right here is going to be 0. If we replace x with 1, we will get 1 minus 1, which is 0. 0 times a of x will be 0. So we get p of 1 is equal to 2 when x is equal to 1. And when x is equal to negative 2, this part right over here is going to be 0, because negative 2 plus 2 is equal to 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. 0 times p of x is equal to 0. So we will get p of negative 2 is equal to 5. So let's keep these two in mind. P of 1 is equal to 2 and p of negative 2 is equal to 5. Now we are going to find the remainder when p of x is divided by x minus 1 times x plus 2. Alright, so we are going to use these two informations later on. P of 1 is equal to 2 and p of negative 2 is equal to 5. So now let's divide p of x. Let's divide p of x by x minus 1 times x plus 2. Alright, so when we divide p of x by x minus 1 times x plus 2, let's say that our quotient is c of x, and let's say that our remainder is r of x. In these two cases, the divisor is a first degree polynomial here, and as you see, the divisor is a first degree polynomial here, so the remainder is going to be a real number, because the degree of remainder must be smaller than the degree of divisor. The degree of the divisor is 1 here, the degree of remainder will be smaller than 1, which is 0, and it is a real number. As you see, the degree of real numbers is 0. And as you see, the degree of divisor is 1. So the degree of remainder will be smaller than 1, which must be 0, which is a real number. But in this case, as you see, the degree of divisor is a second degree polynomial. It is a second degree polynomial. So the remainder must be the degree of remainder must be smaller than 2, which is 1 or 0. So do you see, this is a second degree polynomial. If we just multiply x minus 1 by x plus 2, we get x times x squared. X times plus 2 will be 2x. Minus 1 times x will be minus x. And minus 1 times plus 2 is minus 2. So we get x squared plus x minus 2 times c of x plus the remainder. And the remainder, the degree of the remainder must be 1 or 0, because the degree of divisor is 2. It is a second degree polynomial. So we can say that the remainder may be a times x plus b. We are going to find out the value of a, and we are going to find out the value of b. So now we are going to use these two informations. As you see, P of 1 is equal to 2 and P of negative 2 is equal to 5. So if you replace x with 1, P of 1 is equal to, so we have 1 minus 1, which is 0. So 0 times this whole expression is going to be 0. Then we are going to get P of 1 is equal to a times 1 plus b. A times 1 plus b, which is equal to 2. We know that P of 1 is equal to 2. And P of negative 2 is going to be equal to, if you replace x with negative 2, you are going to get 0. So P of negative 2 is equal to a times negative 2 plus b is equal to P of negative 2 is equal to 5. So a plus b is equal to 2, and minus 2a plus b is equal to 5. So we have a system of equations here, simultaneous equations. How can we get a and b from here? So if we multiply the first equation by 2, let's use the elimination method. If we multiply the first equation by 2, we are going to get 2a plus 2b is equal to 4. And then we have negative 2a plus b is equal to 5. If we add these side by side, the 2a minus 2a is going to be 0. And we have 2b plus b, which is 3b. 4 plus b is equal to 9. If we divide both sides by 3, we get b is equal to 3. If b is equal to 3, we know that a plus b is equal to 2. So a plus b is 3 is equal to 2. A plus b is 3 is equal to 2. So a is equal to 2 minus 3 is equal to negative 1. So our remainder is ax plus b, and we have found a, negative 1, a is negative 1, and b is 3. So the remainder is ax plus b, and a is negative 1. Negative 1 times x is negative x, and b is 3. Negative x plus 3 is the remainder. That means when we divide p of x by x minus 1 times x plus 2, our remainder is going to be minus x plus 3.